You are now listening to Team Bandwagon Never Lose Again podcast. And now for your host, Jamaal Brown and Nicholas Garcia. Welcome back to Team Bandwagon.
Where it is okay to jump ship,
but not okay to lose.
Jump on Team Bandwagon
and never lose again.
Now, when I say jumping ship, I hope you didn't jump ship to any other podcast while we were away.
They probably did. You know, it's Bandwagon Nation, bro. You know, this is what we do.
Come back.
You can blame it all on me.
Hey, we're back. Andrew Luck's not. But if Andrew Luck came back to the Colts, you knew they'd welcome with open arms.
They would, and a fat checkbook too. I'm like, here you go, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sign on the dotted line. It's been a minute, man. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be talking with Nick over here. We've been experimenting with different, formats or platforms.
Different formats, platforms, ideas.
Yeah, and so we're back to the audio. We're back to the face off. Nick has an epic beard.
I know, that's the only thing, is not being on YouTube. You guys aren't seeing my Captain Blackbeard face now.
A lot of things changed. I cut off the dreads.
Right?
Start fresh. I don't know where I'm going next. I didn't know where I was going when I had the dreads. So, nothing else is new, We missed the finals, man.
The finals, but, I was going to say it's not another year, another Warriors championship, though, either.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah, it is. And, we were talking about different openers. And so can I just profess my affection, for the Clippers,
Okay, do elaborate. Please.
My passion of hate for the Clippers.
Okay. All right, now we're on the same page. Okay, just checking.
I finally, it was remarkable how much hate you have for you did have for LeBron before he came to the Lakers.
And I will say this, I'll let you jump. I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah.
But LeBron James has the greatest.
You gonna snatch the mic from me, Kanye?
No. I still have that level of disdain, and I feel that I'm still entitled to that until he brings LA a title.
You're entitled to that until LA gets a title.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's...
So that level of disdain and hatred is still there for LeBron, but I'm still rooting for him to bring a title at LA. Now, if he doesn't do it, I get to say I never let go of my hatred.
I got you. Well, your level of hate for LeBron and Stefan's level of hate for KD, I can see it now. I don't know, I can just see it so clearly now.
Welcome, Jamaal. Welcome.
I hate the Clippers so much, man.
What is that skit with Chappelle? The player haters club?
Hate. I hate your guts. Yeah, man. I can't stand the Clippers, man. All of a sudden, these guys went from a laughable, B team to the most genius team ever. How do you get so resourceful? All of a sudden, they have all the answers. Oh, hold on, let us get PG-13 and make this deal happen. And then I'm hot because of this whole no tampering rule. That's ridiculous. It's a joke. How is there no tampering when Kawhi talked to Paul George to talk to OKC to get him to trade to the Clippers while Kawhi's just waiting for an answer? This is all bad, man. It's all bad.
It seems hypocritical because they made the rules after really the whole Miami Heat Big Three gets made, and now we're gonna make a no tampering rule. But it strikes me that only certain teams are being punished. If you're the LA Lakers and you're a big market team and you've got 16 championships, they seem to get slapped on the hand every other day. But nothing has been said about this entire Clippers debacle when Kawhi sits back and says, "I'll sign with you. You're giving me a superstar." When on the other hand, it looks like he sat back, told the Lakers he was willing to sign with them, and then when they let all these other free agents slip past their fingers because they're waiting on Kawhi, now I'm going to sign the Clippers, and we got Paul George.
Well, okay, so if there's anybody to blame, I blame Magic for that because, he talked to Magic, and then Magic went on air talking about, his conversation that he had with the most private dude on earth.
True.
So I blame Magic for that fumble. But anywho, we are where we are, and I can't wait till the season starts because I'm gonna hate on the Clippers so much. I've seen on some graphic that they had the most increase in like national televised games.
Of course.
I wasn't watching from the beginning, and so I can't wait to like not watch them and hate on them.
Just be on Twitter, hashtag not watching the Clippers.
Right? Like, man, this is gonna be fun. You know, I have like all kind of poems and raps, diss raps against the Clippers.
Nice. Here we go.
This is gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be a beautiful season. It's gonna be a beautiful season. So you know, a lot of stuff has happened. We mentioned the Clippers, the finals, Toronto. Shout out to Toronto for getting that dub.
And it's over. Your reign as champions is over.
I was gonna say shout out to Drake, but I don't know. I'm gonna see.
And the show's over. We're done for today.
Time to go.
Time to go.
But you know, with I guess recently in the headlines, there's been some culture things that we wanted to touch, and they do intersect with sports. So we're in our lane. You know, people stay in your lane. We in our lane. You know, because it's all encompassing. But as a hip hop fan, I was happy to see this headline because I don't know. It was in Nick's terms, this topic was so juicy. You know,
juicy.
Like there was so much meat on his bone where I was like, oh man, like this is great. All right.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about Jay-Z partnership with the NFL, and you know, everybody's reaction, everybody's flipping their wigs over it. Either, you know, they're loving it, they're hating it, it's something to talk about, you know, and that's what the sports industry is. They're just waiting for something to happen, and everybody just, oh, I think this is blah blah blah, and they get paid for that. So
right, absolutely,
good on them. But me and Nick, I really wanted to talk about it. I had to convince, well, not really convince Nick, but really like say, hey Nick, this is something I want to talk about. You know, I know this is, you know, it's on the edge of controversy.
It's different than what we normally do.
Yeah, because, you know, it's all sorts of landmines that we can step on and just blow up, you know? So we're going to tread lightly on this subject. But I'm a huge hip-hop fan. I grew up listening to Jay-Z. And so as soon as I heard this, I already knew, like, oh, no, you know, because Jay-Z, through his career, has been through some battles, you know? His first battle was against the law. You know, I fought the law, and he won the law. As he tells his drug stories on, like, you know, how he came into the game with, you know, $1 million or whatever, and that's cool, whatever. You know, he's a gangster, modern day gangster. He has street wisdom, street knowledge, and he lays it out so poetically on the beats, man. And ever since, I want to say the Carter 2, was it? Life of Sean Carter 2, I was like, man, this dude is legit. And that was like maybe 96, 97. And that dude's legit, man. So like, I'm all aboard Jay-Z's bandwagon, you know, as far as music. The whole title thing, I don't know, I kind of pumped the brakes on that because I was like, bro, wait a minute. You want me to pay extra to listen to your music, you know, or it's exclusive I can't find on YouTube anymore. So I was a little upset about that, but that's me trying to find a deal or whatnot. But the big controversy is two things. It's two big ideas, I guess, that we're trying to, I guess, shed some light on. The first idea is Jay-Z is a sellout. You know, everybody's saying Jay-Z's a sellout. And then the next thing is his statements about, you know, he's what they're doing is past kneeling. All right, and so. Again, like we said, Jay-Z's been through some battles. He's been through a battle with Little Nas.
I don't think that battle ever is going to go anywhere.
He's been through a battle with Nas, you know, and that was epic and that was crazy, you know. And so, and it's funny because a lot of people can't wait to hate on Jay-Z, you know, especially after that. Like, they were like, oh, Nas won. I'm like, really? Did Nas win?
Did he
really?
I think of that Thor picture that you see on the internet. Did he though?
Yeah. And so, you know, this whole sellout thing, I feel like it's like, you know, these people who are salty from his rap career, you know, how he, you know, embodied all their favorite rappers, you know, how he outshined them, how he outsold them, and you know, it's just another way to kind of hate on him, you know.
Absolutely.
And so it was like, hey, this happened, and it's like, oh well, he's a sellout, you know. And it's like, you know, Jay-Z played his cards perfect in my book, you know. Jay-Z use some wisdom, you know, from the wisest people in the room right now is me and Nick. Jay-Z jumped on the bandwagon. Jay-Z jumped on the bandwagon. He jumped on the money bandwagon. He said, you know, what's this deal? How much is going to be? You know, and it, you know, honestly, this deal, it gets to, in all wholehearted truth, it gets him in the room, you know, with people who can make change, you know, instead of just kind of, you know, protesting outside, you know, with picket signs and fences, and as people are trying to drive into the building, he's actually in the room making decisions. And so that has weight to it, that has power to it. So I want to, you know, commend him for that, because that's dope. Like even his, because I watched the interview that he did with the NFL kind of people, I don't know, the press conference. I watched the press conference, and he was saying, like, we all know the issue, you know, we all know the issues. He's like, what's the action? Who's, you know, where are we taking action, you know? And even spoke on, you know, as far as like, it was an opportunity to voice, you know, solutions and make his voice be known and his intentions be known, instead of like having the narration kind of dictated for you, you know? And I think that was a slant towards Colin Kaepernick, where, you know, he's made a stand, but then like nobody's heard from him.
Yeah.
And so like you have these guys on TV who are like, well, I think this, well, I think he's doing this, or, you know, and he's like, nah, like, you know, I'm gonna be on the stage, you know, we have a platform to let you know what our intentions are.
Yes.
You know, and our solutions, and so it's crystal clear. It's not, you know, maybe I'm thinking this or maybe I'm thinking that. It's no, I'm telling you this. And I'm gonna say this again. It just came out of my own words. You know, it's coming out of my own mouth. So
yeah.
So that's dope. I do want to commend him for that. And then the whole thing of being past kneeling, again, he's in the room, you know, and he's able to make decisions. He's able to sway them to make decisions on different things. And even the whole inspired change with the NFL's laying out, you know, they're trying to have a solution.
Absolutely.
You know, and the whole thing is like, you know, you can't please everybody.
Yep.
And this is not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, people are gonna be upset regardless. You know, but I think they're making pretty good strides forward. You know, as far as connecting with the community, connecting with culture. You know, and trying to bridge that gap. I think Jay-Z is definitely a bridge to fill in the gap. He's a bridge builder, you know, between the NFL and the culture.
You know, and excuse me if I'm wrong, the entire reason that he took this contract, besides the money, wasn't it to bridge the gap? Wasn't it to bring culture and the NFL together and to start finding solutions that people are talking about? And to me, it's kind of hypocritical, especially for NFL players, to call him a sellout. You're taking checks from the NFL too.
Yeah.
I don't see you making a change.
Yeah.
I don't see you making a difference. I actually saw a story last year where Fletcher Cox was called a sellout. Now, this is one of the guys that initially took a knee. This is one of the guys that initially, you know, was telling the NFL he didn't like what they were doing. But at the same time, when he stopped taking the knee because he started meeting with the NFL and started looking for solutions, then he was called a sellout. And I find that incredibly hypocritical. Whatever side of the aisle that you're on, if you find Colin Kaepernick, what he did was right, if you find it was wrong, either way, you want to see solutions. You want to see at least two sides come to the table and find a solution.
Yeah.
And if you are condemning people for finding a solution, even if they did it for the sake of money, I think that's incredibly hypocritical.
Yeah.
And maybe Jay-Z simply did it for the dollars and cents. We don't know. The guy is a businessman. But the point is, he is at the table. And when I see guys, and I'm not going to say anyone by name because you know what? God bless them. They're passionate about what they believe. But I do believe you're wrong when you're saying, I disagree with the other side, but when they ask to come to the table, I'm not going to come to the table.
Yeah.
When we've had wars, and I mean, that's with people dying and people shooting your brothers, and the idea is still at the end of the day to come to the table and come to some kind of agreement. We're in a culture war. People aren't dying, but you can say that there's still a lot of...
Some people are dying.
But there's... right? Okay, fine. But,
yeah.
but we're not in the middle of a battlefield shooting at each other. But yes, I agree with you. Yeah, in one side's eye, there is a bullet war going on, right? But the point is that there's not this full-on war. There's a culture war. And yes, people are dying because of it. But in a culture war, ideas are still important. Mm-hmm. Ideas still need to be reached out to the other side. And if you choose to not come to the table with the other side, then you have no hope of your ideas ever grabbing anybody.
Yeah.
So that's where it bothers me. You, whatever side of the aisle you're coming from, if you're not willing to come to the table, then you have no reason to speak.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, you know, as far as coming to the table, or even just letting everybody know your intentions, not just like, oh, I can't get a job, or, you know, I love Jay-Z said, you know, he said it's more about, you know, it's past if Colin has a job.
Yep.
You know, we're kind of past that. You know, he said, you know, using that platform to reach a greater number of audience. Like NFL is the number one on a national, televised sports.
Yeah.
You know, even though NBA has the contracts for the star players, still NFL is the king. You know.
Absolutely.
And so you have that ability to kind of get in there and influence and change people's perception. You know, that's great. And also, you know, Jay-Z has a sports agency. So, you know, it's a win-win for him. You know, he jumped on the bandwagon and he's winning, you know. And, you know, at Team Bandwagon, that's what we do.
Absolutely.
You know, we win. So welcome aboard, Jay-Z, you know. As we say when people jumped on the Lakers bandwagon, watch your step.
Watch your step.
Watch your step, you know. And enjoy the ride, baby.
There's no maximum occupancy.
Yeah, there's none of that. No, the fire marshal Bill's not going to come in and shut it down.
Let me show you something.
So moving on to another, I guess, culture. Yeah, if you're Eastern,
From the other side,
right?
I don't know. Jay-Z's East Coast though, right?
Yeah, this is far east. Far east.
Well, he's an American, but his culture is very far east. Very far east.
Yes.
Much farther than Jay-Z. You know, and again, understand we're a little late to the party. We haven't done a show in like 4 months. But Jeremy Lin did an interview about a month or two ago where he talked about how he hit rock bottom because he felt the NBA gave up on him. And ever since that, I was like, man, when we get back to recording again, you know, we kind of took a hiatus. I really want to talk about this. And it almost got to the point where I almost wrote an article about it. But I just decided, I think in words, it can be better expressed. Verbiage, rather than writing it on paper. But Jeremy Lin saying he hit rock bottom and start crying and get emotional. In a way, my heart goes out to him because I think when you've hit the top and then you kind of sink, I'm sure it hurts. I'm sure it's hard. But to say you've hit rock bottom, I see the lack of gratitude and it really bothers me. And Guy was always one of my favorite players. He's a good dude, a straight-laced guy, stayed out of trouble. Great story, right? We all love good stories. But man, it really bothered me with what he had to say. And Jamaal and I were even, I almost called you Jay-Z. Jamaal and I were talking about it before the show even, that we thought we were going to come from this in different perspectives.
It's your boy.
But I'm glad we agree because the guy not only has a degree from Harvard.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna let you finish. I saw Jeremy Lin on the notes, and I was like, oh no, Nick is gonna defend this dude. I'm gonna have to laugh at him on air.
We were gonna do the all rise. I was gonna be the lawyer.
Was it Perry Mason?
Perry Mason.
All right, go ahead. You say he went to Harvard?
So the guy has a degree from Harvard.
Yeah.
The guy, you know, I don't know what he went to school for, but I'm sure whatever it was in, the guy could get a job anywhere just based on his degree.
Probably mathematics.
Okay? He went to the best Ivy League school there is in America. Okay.
Is it though?
Well, I guess if you went to Brown or Yale, you might argue with it, but from an outside point of view, I think most of us agree Harvard is like the best Ivy League school there is. Okay. I don't know.
That's word on the street.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm not the one that hires these guys, so I don't know. But we all know where Harvard is, or at least what kind of school it is. Some of you might not know where it is, but
yeah, where is it?
I don't know.
Because I don't know. I really don't know.
Jamal's gonna look it up.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
know I've looked it up before, but I don't remember. But the point is, this guy has a degree. He goes undrafted. Okay, he plays for the Warriors for a little while. He gets cut. Gets picked up by the Knicks when Carmelo Anthony gets hurt and becomes a superstar overnight to the point where he gets a big fat contract with the Houston Rockets. The guy is an overnight sensation. Everybody wants to be Jeremy Lin. Everyone wants a Jeremy Lin jersey. The Rockets kind of realize, oh, Jeremy Lin is not what we thought he was going to be. He's not what we paid him to be. So they trade him to the Lakers. Lakers eat some cap. The point is, the guy has spent the last 9 years playing in the league, and now he's got an NBA championship. When nobody thought this guy was going to make it in the league, to the point where he was sleeping on a friend's couch in New York until he got an NBA contract because he was trying to make it on the Knicks. And it's just like, how ungrateful can you be?
Yeah.
Understand where you came from and look at where you are now. You are an international, in fact, international icon. You can't go anywhere where people don't know where you are. Now, I know there's the funny Instagram video last year when he was in Atlanta. Somebody didn't know who he was, and they kind of laughed. But for the most part, people know who Jeremy Lin is. And he's got an NBA championship. And now he signs with the Beijing team. He's going to make a few $1 million playing there. The guy has made money at sponsorships. He's made money at YouTube videos. To say you've hit rock bottom when you're in that situation, I just don't understand it. And it sounds incredibly ungrateful to me.
Maybe he went out and kind of went off script. You know, he was out there at a press conference. You know, maybe he felt in a dark place, you know, as far as like rejected and felt worthless, you know, and maybe just went off script because, you know, these guys have like PRs, you know, that kind of feeds them like, hey, this is how you answer questions. This is what the topic we're going to stick on, you know? And so I'm thinking maybe he went off script. Maybe he was out there and something just hit him. You know, he was feeling some kind of way and he was like, I'm hit rock bottom. I don't know. I think I'm with you though. Like, there's definitely like a crybaby move. Like, how you going to be, you know, crying? Where you made $1 million. You had the opportunity to play basketball for a living.
Absolutely.
You're smart. You went to college. I know you're investing your money, you know, or should be. So there's no reason where you have to like, hey, I need this contract, or like I'm a star. My kid's gonna star. You know, we're gonna be out on the street. Like, that's not gonna happen. You know, and so yeah, definitely. I definitely felt he felt privileged.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's sad. I really thought you were gonna like defend him because I was just gonna like just bash you.
No, man. I know that we.
I have my guns loaded, bro.
I know we've been at odds on certain things and this, that, and the other, and you and I have great battles. Talking about me defending a guy and you attacking him, but I love Jeremy Lin again. I think he's been good for the league for the last 9 years, but it really genuinely bothered me the lack of gratitude in that speech.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard any retraction from it.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I didn't hear a lot from like reactions from players, you know?
Yeah.
To be like, stop crying, man. Like, like, what are you doing?
I know I read a couple of tweets. I'm on Twitter way too much. I know I read a couple of tweets.
I love Twitter.
Where it was kind of back and forth. Where
yeah.
Some guys were kind of like, hey, man, like, you got to play the dream, you know? And then, but most people kind of were defending him. And they were like, oh, I feel bad for him. No, man. I can't. You got to live your dream for 9 years. There are guys who were way better than you that didn't play 9 years. Can I say Jay Williams on this show? You know, like, come on. There were some great NBA players that didn't get as far as you did. You need to be grateful.
Yeah. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Team Bandwagon's take on the culture. Please let us know if we have our ears to the streets, you know, if we in the streets, if we about that life.
Pull over, you're in the wrong lane.
if we in our lane or we switching lanes. You know, honestly, I think we're very careful and very choosy on how we speak, and so there's no carelessness. There's very thought about. We thought this out very well, even though it didn't sound like it. You know,
yes.
You know, our delivery isn't like, you know, what does Stephen A say? Wax eloquently. Yeah, that didn't happen. But in all trueness, let us know, you know, how you guys feel. You know, comment below. Let us know. We would love to get your intake, you know, as far as you know, Bandwagon Nation. You know, which side of the bandwagon you guys are on. If you guys think Jay-Z is a sellout, you know, if you think, you know, we aren't past kneeling, or if you think, you know, Jeremy Lin needs a hug, you know.
I think when we talk about sports, like last year I was arguing about the Chiefs or whatever it may be, I think we get super passionate and we kind of throw jabs and jokes at each other, and we throw jabs at fans who are like on this team's bandwagon. Oh, you're wrong, you're crazy. that's sports, and I think sports you're allowed to jab at each other a little bit. You have fun with it. Understand that when it comes to a little bit more serious issues, we're going to put our opinion out there. We're going to express it, and we do believe it more passionately maybe than we even put out. But I want to make sure that we always express it in a way that you guys can share your ideas and come back with us. We don't want to ever turn into a hostile environment. Even when we do get, like I said, throwing jabs at each other about sports, it's not to create a hostile environment. It's more joking around. But we understand when it comes to cultural issues that maybe we need to play a little more carefully. And I think we did a great job of that today.
I think so too.
And so please give us your opinion. Let's go back and forth. Let's speak intellectually in a smart way, without coming at each other, without stooping to a low level where we're calling each other names and saying you're an idiot, you're wrong, this, that, and the other. I think we can have a really intelligent conversation about these things and not agree still at the end of the day.
You know that's not going to happen, right?
Yeah, but I know.
Somebody dumb on Twitter is just gonna, just spout.
Oh yes, the nonsense will come.
Yeah.
But that's okay because I feel better about what I just said.
All right. Well, thank you for. Well, this is still Team Bandwagon. We have this is episode 47.
47.
We did 47 of these bad boys. And a lot more to come.
A lot more.
Ahead in this episode, we're gonna talk about the Lakers.
The Lakers.
Some NFL top picks and busts, and also Mr. Andrew Not So Lucky. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
Is AC on?
With two in trouble, forced out and in. Unbelievable.
If you like Never Lose Again podcast and you want to stay up to date on the latest episodes, hit us up on Team Bandwagon Facebook page and smash that like button. Team Bandwagon, never lose again.
Get the latest info on Never Lose Again podcast, Bandwagon Nation, and much more by following us on Twitter at Never Lose Again, where the E's are threes. Jump on Team Bandwagon. Never lose again.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Team Bandwagon Never Lose Again podcast, episode 47. We talking about the Lakers, man. What's up with the Lake Show, bro? What's up, man?
You know what's going to come back this year, and I absolutely hate it.
What is it?
But anytime they're good,
The Bandwagon
you're going to
fans?
hear BLA, BLA.
Well, you hear that.
BLA,
You hear that regardless.
BLA. Only, you know what though? When we're good, it comes out in droves.
Only is usually Boston, right? Boston.
That's where it started. That's where it started in the 80s, the Showtime Lakers, when they were supposed to smack Boston that year, and Boston were the underdogs, and they beat them. The fans started chanting "Beat LA," and ever since then, it's become a trend.
Bruh.
So, yeah, man. The Lakers are definitely going to be good this year. I'm trying to keep my expectations realistic because we were supposed to be really good last year.
Bro, get it. Nah, man. Get that out of here, bro. Check this out.
Man.
All right. Get the back seat of this bandwagon, all right?
Okay.
I'm driving the wheel, all right?
All right.
We going number one to
How
the
about
top.
I drive and you push? Because it's going to move that slow.
Nah, bro. We going to the top, man. We're going to the top, bro. Check this out, man. LA, we gonna win that championship, bro.
I think so.
We're gonna win the chip, man. Especially right now is like perfect timing. It's like the league is in chaos. We got the best player, arguably. Like I say that with some reserve. Arguably the best player in the game. Everybody says it. Give me game 7 with him in the finals. Yeah, all day. Like I'm riding on this bandwagon. But other than that, I don't know.
He's got to stay healthy.
Definitely got to stay
34
healthy.
years old. He's getting up there. He's got to slow down eventually.
He's in the West, which is
I've been saying for a long time, when LeBron comes to the West, it's all going to be different.
But check this out, bro. All right, who's gonna stop us in the West? All right, you got Houston, you got Westbrook and Harden. The two that's like Nate Palm. That's Nate Palm and nitroglycerin, bro. Like, there ain't nothing happening out of there, bro. Like, they're already fighting over who's gonna get the ball.
Yeah, man, but look how close they came with Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook.
Again,
Right
Chris
now
Paul
a
is a
better player.
Chris Paul is a playmaker. He's a passer.
Mr. Triple Double, isn't?
Harden,
Russell.
Russell, no,
Yes.
no, bro. He's a stat patter, bro.
Now, here's where I'll agree with you.
Okay.
But then I'm going to give some perspective.
Okay.
If Russell Westbrook does this whole thing where he's stealing rebounds from Clint Capella, and he's not willing to share the ball unless he's trying to get a double.
He's not going to steal him. He's going to punk him like Debo. Like,
okay, if he continues to play like that, where he's padding his stats, you're right. They will not win a title, and it'll take less than 30 games for those guys to start fighting. If they choose to play together by some miracle,
which is a big if, bro.
I don't think anyone beats Houston.
Bro.
I think they destroy any team in a 7-game series if those two can find a way to play together.
Can a leopard change his stripes, bro?
But we're not talking about natural law here.
These guys, this is their nature, bro. This is not, they're not going to just wake up one day and say, hey, you know, I should pass more. These guys are like ball These guys are not going to, trust me, man, it's going to blow up.
Harden played point guard before Chris Paul got there. The guy can move the ball as well as he can shoot it. And so I'm just saying that they are a threat. They are a threat.
Maybe my perception is tainted because
you hate Russell Westbrook.
Well, not as much as the Clippers, but just Harden's attitude, you know, his lackadaisical attitude, you know, especially like in the playoffs where like Chris Paul was bringing up the ball and he was just kind of like walking up on the side, like
he does not care about winning a title.
Yeah,
I'll agree with you on that. I do think Russ cares about winning a title, and that's why I think he will change the way he plays. And Harden, whether he cares about winning or not, if the guy's giving you 30 a night, he might help you.
All right, so Nate Palm and nitroglycerin, guys checked off the list. Next,
they will not be a threat in the playoffs.
Who?
But Denver will make the playoffs again. And
okay.
I do believe they'll be a top 5 seed.
I really do like what's the big dude in the middle?
Jokic.
I want to say is Nurkic. Nurkic is
no,
Portland.
Nurkic is the other
Portland,
guy.
right?
They
So the other dude, Joker. They
call him
Joker.
It's Nikola Jokic.
I like that guy.
He's a solid player.
I like that guy.
He's a great player. He's a great all-around player.
I do be making some solid passes.
You know, and
there's another dude on there I like too.
Well, speaking of bandwagons, I was on theirs last year, and I think Jokic is one of the guys I say would be why the team was good.
What about Jamal Murray?
But not Jamal Murray.
What do you?
No, if I'm since I just did it for Westbrook and Harden, I'm going to be honest with you. Without Jamal Murray's ball handling skills and his ability to shoot the ball, that team would be irrelevant. I do give credit where credit's due.
So
the guy can
he
shoot.
has skills.
The guy has skills. The guy can shoot. He's still a punk. Okay? He's still a punk.
Jamal Murray's the man. You're Jamal, bro.
I hope he tears both ACLs this year. No, that's not true. I don't ever wish injury on anybody. This is going to come back in 10 years on Twitter.
Oh, my goodness.
When we're making it big on ESPN. Nixon!
All right. So Rockets, we got those checks off the list. Clippers.
Clippers will be a threat.
Clippers.
I hate saying it, but they will be a threat.
That's like a freeway series, but it's the same building. It's the Staples Center series. It's like that would be.
They're opening in LA.
That'd be crazy.
The season opener is Clippers Lakers.
Clippers Lakers.
Yes. Now imagine if they meet in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That would be weird.
Yeah, that'd be weird. It'll be like, you know, it's a home game every day. You know, when they switch the floors.
Yep.
Do you think there's gonna be more Clipper fans than Laker fans?
Here's where it gets funny: is it's going to depend on ticket pricing.
Ooh.
It's going to depend on ticket pricing. So
all the broke people are Clippers fans?
No, me as a super pro capitalist, here's my dream and here's what I hope happens. I hope both teams are so out to steal fans from each other that they both just continue lowering ticket prices just to get more of each other's fans to show up.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping. Hope and dream.
Bro, there's levels to this, bro. All right, we know what level we're on. Their level of lowering ticket prices is not
so good. And the NBA has raised ticket prices so much in the last 10 years. I already know it's not going to happen, but that's my dream.
I guess a man can dream, right?
A man can dream.
As far as beating the Lakers or Lakers beating them, if you Clippers, Lakers, the only I guess dark horse in this is Paul George, because George.
I said when the Lakers decided to not trade for him, I said we're going to be okay without him. And a buddy of mine, we kind of went back and forth, and he said, why? And I said, look, the guy's never averaged more than 21 points a game. He's never averaged anywhere near 10 rebounds a game. He's never been an assist guy. He's an all-right defender, and he's coming off a major break in his knee. I don't think he's a superstar we're looking for. Then he signs with OKC, and
freaking MVP candidate.
He's an MVP candidate. So the guy totally proved me wrong. I'm willing to eat my crow when it's time to eat crow, and I could not have been more wrong. So, yeah, I agree with you. Paul George will be the X factor. Kawhi Leonard will be in the runnings for MVP again. He's going to play phenomenal. The Clippers are definitely a threat. And I can't find anything to put between us so you don't jump across the table and choke me. But I do think it's going to be a different story in the playoffs when the Lakers will start turning it on, as LeBron always does. I think the Clippers win the season series 3-1.
The season series? Well, the season is, whatever, you know?
But it's going to make Clipper fans come out in droves and start talking crap.
They're going to do that regardless.
Absolutely.
They were doing that with Blake Griffin.
Yes.
I'm like, this dude doesn't do one dribble.
Pulling a China shot. That's all he was.
Dude, I haven't seen this dude dribble the ball once. All he does is just catch and dunk. I'm like, this dude has no skills, you know? When he's right there, whatever. I'm gonna get off.
Yep.
I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
He's in Detroit. He can't hurt you.
Let me take a breath. All I seen was red. I was like, I can't even put a sentence together. All right, so Warriors. I'm sorry, Warriors is.
Okay, on that subject, I read an interesting article from a sports blogger on Twitter saying the Warriors are not done. The entire reason this person believes they signed D'Angelo Russell is they hope to get Klay back in the playoffs, and even if they don't, they're still looking to the future. Klay's eventually going to come back, and he's got a 5-year deal. So you got Steph Curry and D'Angelo Russell playing this year. Still got a good team. They still are a playoff team.
Got Draymond Green.
Okay, so let's say, for argument's sake, once you sign a new contract, you can't be traded. I think it's for, 45 days? So let's say around December, I think they were saying that he'll be eligible to be traded. The rumor is the main reason they signed him for as much money as they can sign him is so they can trade him to another team who's looking to unload a star. It'll match salary cap, and then the Warriors are good again. The rumor is he'll be traded for Blake Griffin by December 15th.
Blake Griffin?
But Blake Griffin is now the guy made more threes last year than he had in the rest of his career combined. The guy still attacks the basket.
I guess.
And then you've got Steph Curry, who's going to spread the floor and make it easy for Blake Griffin to get one-on-one matchups. So
if I can give Dwight Howard another shot, a second chance.
Blake Griffin has more talent in his little finger
exactly
than Dwight Howard right now.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, all right,
So if they get Blake, and then they've got Draymond, and they've
don't
got
put him-
Steph Curry, that's still a good
okay,
team.
Draymond and Blake Griffin, who's better?
Initially, I want to say Draymond, but Blake has really developed his game in the last couple years. I mean, he was developing.
Can
his
Blake
game
hit
before.
threes?
Yes, he made more threes last year than the rest of his
That
career
dude can't
combined.
shoot.
I want to say he made like 153 pointers last year.
150?
Yes, I will look it up right now.
Bruh.
Yes, Blake Griffin made an insane amount of 3-pointers last year.
Maybe because his team was garbage, so he was like, I'm gonna just.
But the point is, he made them. The point is, he made them.
Oh my goodness.
So,
all right.
Blake Griffin, I believe the guy has a bright future if he ends up on a really good team.
So if Lakers get past Houston, if Lakers get past Clippers, can we agree that anybody's coming from the West ain't got no chance? From the East ain't got a chance? I would say
Philly.
Yeah. Philly's always
Philly. I want to say Milwaukee, but they lost, who was it, Middleton? And he's not the star of the team. We all know it's about Giannis, but the thing was is they had a lot of young depth. That's what made Milwaukee.
And Giannis couldn't shoot.
Giannis can't shoot. Guys like Middleton and Bledsoe, they spread the floor. Now they've still got Bledsoe, but the point is to lose any talent on a team that depends on its depth always hurts. So
I think Philly's best chance was last year with Butler. I don't know.
But you still can't count out like a guy like Joel Embiid. They're looking at trading Ben Simmons, to my understanding. But even if you just have him running the point,
they should have traded Ben Simmons for Westbrook. That would have been a dope trade.
I think that would have been a great trade for Philly. I think they feel that they have a lot of scorers, and I think they're looking for distributors.
Gotcha.
What hurts Philly, I think, even not saying he's better than Jimmy Butler, but I think they depended on him to spread the floor and create their offense. Losing JJ Redick was huge. So
where's JJ at?
I'm forgetting.
He's probably somewhere in the Midwest.
I'm drawing a blank, but I know he left. He got a big fat he didn't go back to the Clippers. Where did he go? I'm going to look it up in a minute, but I'm trying to find Blake Griffin's amount of 3-pointers he made last year. It was ridiculous.
Redonkulous.
It was ridiculous. 3-point percentage. Where are 3-pointers made?
So
189 3-pointers made last year by Blake Griffin.
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Out of how many attempts?
522.
That's a terrible percentage.
Is it?
Yeah.
And from 3?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
now,
like
I don't have the stats in front of me, so I'm going to do the math.
I want to say like
189
like
divided
30%.
by 522, right?
Yeah.
36%. That's not
36.
that bad for a power forward.
Bruh.
That's not that bad for a power forward.
I guess it's a game of numbers, right?
Hey man, not all of us are Steph Curry.
Yeah. When you said Philly making it to the finals, I just played my first full season of 2K19.
Okay.
And so I hopped on the bandwagon. My player, I requested a trade for. I requested a trade to go to state, and man, we were cooking, bro.
Oh, I bet.
Through the whole playoffs, we lost like 2 games. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
Why do I have not a hard time believing that?
My player is a point guard, so he started in front of Steph. So I was like, sit on that bench, boy. I got this.
Having Steph Curry as 6th man of the year is not bad.
Right? And then Steph comes and just shoots like half court, like nothing, swish. I'm like, dude, this game is so unreal.
It's like NBA Jam on easy.
Right. But all right, so can we? Well, I'm convinced. Did I convince you that we're going to the playoff?
We'll be in the playoffs. I think they'll be in the Western Finals. If they get
against the Clippers, and we're gonna lose. Is that what you're saying, bro?
I'm saying I don't know.
If we lose to the Clippers, I'm ending the show, bro.
I'm saying
I'm ending the show. I'm tearing my shirt. I'm gonna look up to the camera and yell, "Con!"
June 20-something next year, guys. Count on it. Knicks team bandwagon. Well, no, I guess it would be over before June if they lost in the Western Finals. But I want to believe it. I really, really do. I just think the West. Here's what I'll leave it at this. They're going to have to go through so much competition that I think it can go to anybody in the West. Because it could be injuries, could be wear and tear, they could be tired. You know, whatever it may be, it could go to the Clippers, it could go to the Rockets, it could go to the Lakers. It could go to the Warriors if they do make some kind of giant booming trade that nobody expects. So the West, all I'm saying is the West is going to be so competitive, I don't think we can hand it to the Lakers right now. If they stay healthy, Dwight Howard works out, Anthony Davis works out, we don't have any distractions going into the finals. Yes, they would be my favorites to win.
I'm just saying, bro. We are on the bandwagon, so I'm gonna need to verify your ticket, sir. Can I see your ticket, sir?
Can I put down a deposit?
Can I see your ticket, sir?
Can I put down a deposit?
You have no ticket. Get off of the bus.
Can I put down a deposit? I'm willing to give up my $30 deposit.
Get off of the bus, bro.
If I change my mind, I'm willing to give up my deposit.
Bruh.
All
right, so switching gears to the NFL. Preseason has a few more weeks to go.
One
more week. Preseason is so like useless to me. Yeah, it's just like why? Like these guys are just getting hurt in preseason, you know. Anywho, they should do preseason like flag football. That'd be dope.
That'd be interesting.
That would be dope.
How many guys are tearing their ACLs just trying to juke guys out though too?
Right.
So
it's gonna happen regardless. They're gonna tear the AC out like playing outside with the kids. So.
So Boogie did.
Yeah, there's a video of Mystical. I think he's a rapper. You know Mystical, right?
I know Mystical.
Yeah, he was.
He got out of jail last year, right?
I don't know. I seen him in a club. It was a small club too, but he was on top of a speaker, fell, and like jacked up his knee. I'm like, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much.
So, looking forward, man. Who do you think? I guess you're the breakout player.
My breakout player this year, and it's weird to say, he's had a breakout season, but it's been 2 years since we've seen him. He's coming off his torn ACL. I think he comes back full force this year. Carson Wentz will be in the running for MVP this year. I think he has a breakout year. He doesn't have Nick Foles breathing down his neck anymore. Philly's got to keep him upright.
Saint Nick? Come on, bro.
They've got to keep Carson Wentz healthy. And if they do, he has an incredible year. He is my breakout player.
You know what you're asking for, right? You're asking for Eagle fans to come out the woodwork again.
I know.
Man, those guys are so annoying.
I know.
Come on,
but
man.
I can't blame Carson Wentz for that.
I know, bro, but you couldn't pick nobody else, bro?
Sorry, man.
Bruh.
I told you, I wanted to pick Jameis Winston. I really, really did. I really wanted to pick Jameis Winston. Jamaal and I had a discussion a while ago.
I forgot about that.
We were playing Xbox Live.
My
and
goodness.
I told him Jameis Winston was going to.
Oh,
now,
I forgot
understand
about
my
that.
logic behind it, okay?
Yes.
He's got Andy Reid,
There's
quarterback
some logic.
whisperer, okay? Did you know Andy Reid was Peyton Manning's first quarterback coach?
Wait. Andy Reid?
Not Andy Reid, excuse me. Who's the coach of Tampa Bay now?
He's the old
the coach
coach
of the
from the
Cardinals.
that
Bruce
guy.
Arians.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians. He's the poor man's Andy Reid. Fat guy with a mustache.
All right. Fat
Bruce
guy
Arians-
in a little coat.
Bruce Arians was Peyton Manning's first quarterback coach. Okay, and Peyton Manning has even talked about what a great motivator he is, what a great coach he is, how well he understands the game. And when he was in Arizona, he was known as a defensive guy. He really is an offensive guy. Carson Palmer, his career, he was on his way out. Nobody was taking him serious. He couldn't save the Raiders. Nobody believed in Carson Palmer anymore. And then he goes to the Cardinals, and they were a Super Bowl contender almost every year. Bruce Arians is a phenomenal coach. He's a quarterback whisperer. The guy, he's not to be messed with. And he said, I'm done with coaching. I'm done. This is over with for me.
Deuces.
And then he says, I'm only going to come back if I get the Cleveland job. Who doesn't want the Cleveland job right now? But then he takes Tampa Bay's job. And I think there's a method to the madness. They got rid of McCoy. I think he's trying to get rid of the old guys who are getting paid too much money. I think if anybody can turn around Jameis Winston's career, it's him. That being said, losing Jackson, having a horrible offensive line, and still not having any good running back, I do think Jameis still has certain struggles. I think he leads all starting quarterbacks in interceptions, but I also think he throws more touchdowns and has more passing yards than he has in the rest of his career. So I think the turnaround starts now, and then it'll be up to Tampa Bay whether they want to sign him for an extension.
I was reading an article about Jameis Winston. I think it was just like the preseason overview or highlights of him. And they were saying how his I guess the last game he got tackled for he got 4 drop back tackles, that cost him 25 yards or something. But he's not there's improvement because those a few years ago would be interceptions. He would just throw it. So there is some improvement, but I don't know. That was a long shot if you were gonna pick that guy as your.
It is a long shot, and part of me still wanted to do it, but after I did my homework and I just said I can't do it. I can't do it as much as I want to. Jameis Winston will be fantasy relevant. He'll be a great fantasy football quarterback if you can get him as a late flyer. But he's not going to be. If I say breakout, I think that means he's going to be like, oh my gosh, this guy turned this franchise around, and I just don't see that coming this year.
So my breakout guy of this year is going to be Juju Smith-Schuster.
Okay, but is there really a breakout? The guy had a phenomenal year last year.
Well, I don't know your term. I just see this on the paper, so I'm like breakout. All right, who I think is gonna be dope?
Okay, so you think he was good with Antonio Brown. Now he's gonna be the number 1 receiver in the league.
Yeah, Antonio Brown's out of his hair. Kind of distraction. They want to kind of prove everybody, that they were right and he was wrong. And so I think Ben's gonna force feed him, and I think he'll be the number 1 receiver in the league.
It's hard to argue with that because Juju did look phenomenal last year.
And
I cannot believe so many teams passed up on this guy.
And I was sharing the load with
Antonio Brown,
Mr. Diva, Mr. I need the ball. And so, yeah, I think he's going to do really, really good, especially to Big Ben. He's kind of said sorry, and now it's time to play. Especially, too, they need to win, man.
Absolutely.
They need, I think their coach's job is on the line, as far as,
Yeah.
And not just win. They definitely need to win, but they need to beat the Patriots, man.
When's the last time that happened?
Which is probably not going to happen. But anywho, I definitely think Juju's going to.
I don't know, because Gronk is the Steeler killer, and he's not there. So we'll see.
We'll see. Well, they still got freaking Palpatine, at the helm, After all these years, you hear him laughing in the background, like, how's this dude still alive? And he's still out there killing defenses, And so, the other side of the coin, the player who I think is gonna have a terrible year is Antonio Brown.
Really?
Yeah.
See, man, he's not gonna be the receiver he's been, but to say he's gonna have a terrible year, I I can't dig that, man. He's still one of the greatest receivers ever in the league. Now, every receiver that's been the star of the Steelers that they let go in the last 10 years, Santonio Holmes, Mike Wallace. Mike Wallace especially was a big player. Guy wanted big money, and he's done absolutely nothing in the league since leaving the Steelers. But I don't think Antonio Brown is in that same category. I do think he still has a solid career. I do think Derek Carr's a better quarterback than people give him credit for, and he likes to throw the deep ball. I think Antonio Brown, as long as he's playing, has a good year.
I agree with all that, but you said a magic word, if these guys get on the same page, if these guys are all on the same accord, if these guys
I don't even think they need to be on the
can
same
come
page.
head to head. Well,
I think you throw the ball in Antonio Brown's vicinity, and he's going to make things happen.
I don't know, man. It's just not. I don't know. That doesn't add up to me. You know, just to throw the ball and see what happens. Like, there needs to be timing. There needs to be,
I mean, he's
some
not
chemistry.
Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson was the guy you literally threw the ball up in the air and he went up and got it.
Yeah.
I do think with a mediocre quarterback, Antonio Brown can make things happen.
And then, you got teams or, who's the other star receiver for Raiders? I'm not expecting you to know because I don't know. And so they're just going to double team him, and he's going to get frustrated, I just see that just all going bad.
I hope you're right because you know how I feel about the Raiders.
The Raiders.
I hope you're right. My pick for the disappointing player of the year, and people are going to say, oh, that's not really fair. He's a rookie. But everybody's expecting big things from him. I think Kyler Murray is going to let a lot of people down. I don't think he's going to be the quarterback everybody expects him to be. I don't think he's going to save the Arizona franchise. I just don't see it. The guy is small. He's playing behind a terrible offensive line. He's got an old receiver who's still one of the greatest receivers of all time. Larry Fitzgerald is phenomenal. He's very close to getting in the top 2, maybe even close to number 1 as number 1 receiving yards of all time. No one will ever catch Jerry Rice, that being said. But, he just doesn't have the help he needs. I don't even fully completely blame him, but he's not going to have the Robert Griffin type of season, the Andrew Luck type of season, the Aaron Rodgers first year starting. He's not going to have one of those kind of years, and it's really going to upset people, and Arizona, I think, is going to hit the panic button right away.
You think so?
Yes.
You think? Well, they already did last year, right? And they got Rosen, right?
Right.
Rosen
is
out of there.
on the Dolphins now. I'm not saying they're going to trade Kyler Murray, but I think
that's what I think that's what they did last year. They hit the panic button. I think Arizona is definitely in a state of chaos right now.
yes.
And so, it's just a bad situation for Kyler. I kind of like the guy.
I like him too, yeah.
I want him to do good, but at the same time, I don't know. He could have did another year, and just kind of played his cards right.
Well, what worries me is I do feel that if he plays poorly, the Cardinals will hit the brakes a little bit and say, okay, let's get an offensive line. Let's get more weapons for him. Let's get him a tight end he can dip it out to. But Kyler has the option to go play for the Oakland A's whenever he feels like it. That's the part that worries me, is if football really bombs for him and it does not work out, I do feel that he walks away sooner rather than later. Excuse me.
I hope he does.
I wouldn't blame him if he did.
Speaking of walking away, Mr. Andrew Luck walked away from the game. Is there a meme or some kind of culture pop thing where the dude's walking away from the sunset? I don't know. I'm thinking of Wolverine or something
Or cowboy riding off into the sunset.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Luck said deuces to the NFL. He got hurt again in preseason, or was it?
No, it was before the season even started. I want to say it was in workout camps, and they said it was something with his ankle or his what do you call that? The back of your leg.
Achilles.
Not your Achilles, your hamstring. It was something to that effect.
That's in the back of your quad.
Okay, whatever.
He
did some, and they kept saying it was
back
minor.
Your ankle is your calf.
They kept saying it was calf. That's what it was. It was your calf. It was his calf. Okay, so they kept saying it was minor.
Okay.
He was going to recover, no problem. This was no big deal. And then Jim Irsay does a live interview and says something to do with the bone. And then everybody
Bruh.
starts panicking right away. Everybody's freaking out and losing their mind. And then the medical staff comes out, no. It's a muscle attached to the bone. That's what he meant. This, that, and that. And it got ugly really, really fast. And it got to the point where his fantasy stock started falling. And people were really saying, okay, Jacoby Brissett might start a few games, this, that, and the other. Who knows? Are we going to run into another year like we did 2 years ago, where the Colts keep saying he's going to play, and he never ends up playing? So, and then all we keep seeing in preseason is Andrew Luck sitting down. Which, again, superstar, he doesn't really need to play. But it was creating a bit of a panic. And then all of a sudden, Adam Schefter breaks the news before Andrew Luck has a chance to tell anybody that he's retiring from the league.
Schefter, man.
Leave it to Chef. But, hey, he's doing his job. We all got a job
Right.
to do. So...
He did it during the game. During the preseason game.
And first of all, minus everything else, Andrew... You've dealt with a lot of injuries in your career. You've got a team that just started building you an offensive line because they depended on just paying you money and you making magic happen, which was stupid. He's dealt with so many injuries, and he's tried to carry that team for so long. He's a great sport. He's worked his tail off. He's tried to play injured. God bless him. I salute you. I good luck in whatever is the next chapter of your life. I wish nothing but the best for Andrew Luck. And I think if he feels this is what's best for him and his health and his family and loved ones, you got to do what you got to do, man. I have no... Yes, I'm not a Colts fan. On that subject, they don't deserve you. You know, this guy, spoiled Colts fans, got Peyton Manning for 12, 13 years and a Super Bowl, had how many winning seasons, and then get to carry it into Andrew Luck?
Yeah.
And you're going to act like it's the worst thing in the world after 7 years the guy says, I can't do this anymore? How spoiled can you be?
Yeah.
And so they don't deserve you. You know, Andrew, do what you got to do, and if you decide to come back, Tennessee needs a quarterback.
Well, to the fans' defense.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
They did pay a lot of money for those seats,
Get out of
okay?
here.
And, you know, they did buy a
During
lot of...
preseason, they knew Andrew wasn't playing.
Like, I'm with Nick on this. You know, Mr. Andrew Luck, he did a Cartman. He said, "Ski you guys, I'm going home."
Taking my ball and going home.
Right? Yeah. And so that's good for him. You know, he took, you know, the power in his hands. My question is, are we going to see the same thing with DeMarcus Cousins, you know, after all these injuries, where he's just going to say, forget it, man. You know, like, it's kind of not worth it in a sense. Well, and again, like, you know, if you're smart with your money, you know, all these guys, these top stars get paid millions of dollars to, you know, do stuff that they love, you know. We just hope and pray that they, you know, take care of their finances and that they have options. So, Andrew Luck, you know, all more power to him. You know, if it's time to go, it's time to go. Who's the one to say no, you can't go yet?
Absolutely.
You know, there's no contract, you know, as far as what we've seen, you know, that that has somebody kind of locked in, you know, like we see people get
it sounds like he
out.
left on good terms too, because the Colts gave him his payout of his last check, and they didn't have to.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I think they kind of owe him that. Like you said, they didn't really build a solid, you know, they didn't build a solid line around him. You know, they treated him poorly.
yeah, absolutely.
And so, good riddance, you know, in Indianapolis, you know, hope Luck, you know, enjoys retirement. The big question is, do you think he's coming back?
No. And I know so many people are trying to speculate, this is the way, he's just not a distraction anymore. He'll come back as soon as he's healthy. He'll come back next year, and he'll be back stronger than ever because he'll be able to really be able to take time to himself. I could not disagree more. The guy has suffered so many injuries, and he just doesn't strike me as the guy to be deceptive about it. He really is hurt, and he really is at a point where he's saying, look, I'm getting out while I can. Look at all the issues we've dealt with brain injuries and this, that, and the other. Andrew, it sounds like he's not just concerned about the brain injuries. He's concerned about being able to walk by the time he's 60 years old.
Have you seen on NBA on TNT Kenny Smith? Have you seen the way that dude walks?
No.
That dude knees buckle in.
Ugh.
That is bananas.
And that's what I mean. Like, that's an NBA player who's 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
That's not a guy getting tackled and being the main guy you want to tackle as soon as the ball says hike. You know, so he's preserving his body. He wants to be able to be around. To my understanding, he just had a kid. He wants to be there and be healthy.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe just like his dad did to him, maybe he'll prepare his son for football, and we could have another Luck coming up in 20 years.
I don't think he comes back fully. I think maybe because he's gonna miss it. So I think
he'll be an analyst.
No, I don't think he's. You heard him talk?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a solid point.
Oh, and that beard, man. I don't think that beard is gonna be too camera friendly.
No.
But I do think he dips his toe in the water. Like as far as I wouldn't say as far as semi-pro, but maybe like being a coach, you know, or some part of the game where he is still he's still able to contribute, you know, and you know, we all been to games before, you know, basketball games where we're out there and it's like halftime, we're like, oh, let me shoot the ball, you know, like you just have that, you know, where you want to do something.
Absolutely.
So while he's coaching or helping these guys practice, you know, he's throwing the ball around. It's giving them that fulfillment. But yeah, I don't think he comes back. If he does come back, I hope he pulls a Brett Favre and goes plays for the rival. Well, who's the
Tennessee?
Help me plays.
So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, that'll be dope. Because Tennessee needs some help right now.
Absolutely.
Oh man, they need some help. They need some help. Who's your quarterback?
Marcus Mariota.
No. Who's the real quarterback?
Right now, it's Marcus Mariota.
Bruh.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like,
no, who's the quarterback, man?
They traded for Tannehill, but I don't think Tannehill gets the job.
Bro, Tannehill's gonna smash.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I disagree with you. Because
Tannehill was carrying.
But Mariota is in the last year of his contract. Okay, so the Titans are not going to be a good team this year. And yes, this is me saying that about my own team. They are not going to be good this year. And they're going to try to play Mariota as many games as they can to find out, are we paying this dude at the end of the year? I think the answer is already there. I think that question's already been answered. But if the team really wants to figure it out or they go through the process of looking for another quarterback, then so be it. But
I think they're
going to play him as many games as they can, and they're going to try to get some real answers.
I think the team wants to win. And I think Tannehill puts them in the best position to do it.
We'll see.
I'm more of a Titans fan
so
than
if
you
Tannehill,
right now.
If Tannehill, for argument's sake, let's say you're right, I disagree, but if Tannehill comes in and starts balling, let's say Marcus gets hurt by the second game, and Tannehill comes in and starts balling, they'd be stupid to obviously bring Mariota just back in if Tannehill's winning games. The only reason I say that they still will is they've got to figure out if this guy's getting paid at the end of the year. If they franchise tag him, I think he makes like $21 million a year. If they're going to pay him, it's going to be for a 5-year, and he's going to want over $100 million. That's a big question when you're a franchise. You got to figure out, are you paying this guy, or are you going to be stuck with him for 5 years? They don't want a Brock Osweiler situation, so they've got to figure out what they're going to do. So I do think they play him as many games as they can. I hope that in a situation, if maybe Tannehill takes over and he plays great, fine, play Tannehill. Then that answers your question. Mariota's gone at the end of the season. I just don't see it going that way.
That's what's up, man. Well, anywho, this concludes episode 47.
47.
Of Team Bandwagon Never Lose Again podcast. You can catch us on YouTube at Bandwagon Nation. You can also catch us on Twitter at Never Lose Again, where the E's are
threes.
E's are threes. Just throw it up like you Steph Curry. Follow us on Facebook at Team Bandwagon. You'll see my mug on there. You see Nick's big old mug on there. You see Stefan's mug on there. Just go ahead and click follow or like. You like the page, don't follow the page. Following us would be a little weird.
Yeah, don't follow me around.
Yeah, that's a little weird. But anywho, I am Jamaal Brown. He is Nick Garcia, a.k.a. Abraham Lincoln. That beard is massive. 4 scores and 7 podcasts ago. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in to Team Bandwagon.
Where it is okay to jump ship.
But not okay to lose.
Jump on Team Bandwagon
and never lose again.